Hey guys, welcome back. And in this video, we have another what sold video. My original plan was to do one of these every single week. However, last week I was just so busy with everything, I never got a chance to. But today, had some extra time to myself, so decided to do a what sold video for last week and the week before. So basically, a what sold video, ever catching you up since what sold on the very last video I did. So that being said, let's get to it. I want to try to fly by this, so it doesn't take too much time. So first thing is a Hugo Boss long sleeve polo. This right here was without a doubt, one of my very first purchases when I started doing this. Normally, I would not have bought this because I assumed this was, way before I knew so much about the brand. That was me just eyeballing this, saying Hugo Boss, that's a big name, that's just sell pretty high. No, Hugo Boss stuff does sell. I'm gonna talk a lot about that later on in the video. But these particular shirts right here will go for about 15, 16 if you're lucky. And I had dropped the price so low to 14 just to get rid of it. I think I spent like 6 or 7 on this, so that shows me right there. Hugo Boss buttoned up, unless it's brand new with tags, that's different. Other than that, it's really not going to sell that fast, or at least not for that much. Unless you're okay getting. The only way I would buy a Hugo Boss button up shirt now would be if it was like $1, like at the Goodwill bins or like on sale or something. Other than that, I'm pretty much staying away from any kind of casual button down Hugo Boss shirts. Next up is the johnnie-o's men polo shirt. Now that one sold for $18.97. I'm pretty sure I got that one for like $5, so not a bad flip there at all. Next up is a BKE buckle vintage shirt. Now this one had a pearl snap buttons on it, so I knew I could raise the price on that one a little bit more. I was right, $23. Believe I spent like 5 or 6 on that one. Next up is the 511 Tactical Series. That one, I remember when we got that, me and my girl were out looking and she had asked me, hey, is this a good shirt or not? And I was like, yes. That was actually my very first, our very first time finding 511 Tactical. Sold it for 25. That was actually brand new with tags. So that did not take long at all to sell out. So, and I think we spent like $8 on that one. $8. So yeah, so not a bad flip. Next up was an LL Bean Freeport, Maine women's turtleneck long sleeve sweater. That one I cannot remember where I got that. I was thinking about the whole one, like, where did I get this? I cannot remember. I know it wasn't the bins. I know that. So I'm assuming it was a thrift store because I can vaguely remember getting it at a thrift store, which of course I don't spend more than like $5, $6 and stuff like this. So whatever I like to think I spent like around 5 or 6, but I did sell it for $20, so not a bad flip there. Next up is a Salt Life skull and hoodie sweatshirt. That one I do remember getting. That wasn't that long ago. That was like 2 weeks ago. I got that one for like $8. Sold it for 25. Not a bad flip either. Next up is a North Face Orcedo. I'm pretty sure I got that one at a flea market for $10. When I saw it there, I said that will be a very fast sale, a very decent sale, and I was right. Sold it for $35, so not a bad investment there. If you see North Face sweaters, especially now, obviously because it's getting colder, if you see a North Face sweater for a decent price, don't think twice. Definitely go get it either for yourself and get good value, or resell it and for a profit. Next up is a Ray Dunn mug. Now, some of these, as you would expect, go for more than others, and I really assumed that this one, because it said family on it, would, especially because of Christmas time, I could sell it higher and faster. Not so much the case. I only sold it for 13 plus shipping, so I bought it for $3. So not the biggest profit, but at least you know that there's value out there for them. So if you can find those for cheap, same deal. Pelagic Vapor Tech long sleeve was the next one. I remember this one too. I spent like $4 on that at a thrift store for 22. That was a very good flip right there. Next up is more Pokemon cards, $22. I'm noticing though that the Pokemon trend is slowly, from what I can tell, from what I can see anyways, when I go to the stores. I don't go looking for them anymore, but I can slowly see that trend is starting to come down a little bit as far as like the hype and wanting to spend crazy money on it. So still this two for $22. Next up is a Nat Nast original silk blend. Now normally I would only buy Nat Nast shirts if they were like $2, $3. This one I do remember spending $4 on it, and the main selling point with it was all silk. That I knew right there. Nat Nast silk was gonna have value. Sold it for $25. Like I said, I bought it for like $4 or $5, so a good flip there. Next up, another Pokemon card, $20 for this single card right here. Like I said, I'm surprised that these are. I can't tell if these are selling because people want them or if they want them for Christmas. Because I know the Christmas around the corner. Maybe they're getting for gifts or whatnot. But just happy that stuff is moving. Now this one right here, the vintage Hazel Atlas Tom and Jerry eggnog set. Now this was not me actually. This was my mom had found this. She let me know. she got it for me, you know, gave the money for it. So that's something that she does for me sometimes. She sees something out there, she'll let me know, and then I'll give her the money for it later. So that it's always good to have, you know, extra help out there where you can. The sad story about this though, I shipped this out, I want to say 5 or 6 days ago. I just got word last night that when it arrived, however, as we packed it as well as we could, and yet the bowl itself was shattered. It sucked. It was just, oh god, this is the second time this has happened to me. It's really discouraging me from wanting to sell glass of any kind anymore. But thankfully the cups were completely unharmed. The buyer reached out to me. You know, we went back and forth saying how crazy and unfortunate it was. Thankfully, they did want to keep the cups, and I offered them a half their money back to balance out for the bowl. They were okay with it. So instead of selling for 40, technically I only sold it for 20. I spent $6 on it, so not the biggest profit in the world, but thankfully at least they wanted to keep the cups, because if they had wanted to send everything back, that would have been a whole different story profit wise. So lesson learned: if you're gonna sell glass, I mean, wrap it up 3 or 4 times as best you can, because I mean, anyways, just want to forget about that. I want to move on. But next up is the Duluth Trading Company. Now this was the one that I showed in the video where the buttons were actually magnetized, even though they look completely real. Very cool concept. I mentioned that I like that idea as a cool concept. But sold it for $25. I believe we got this for $6. We got 2 of them. I believe we got them for $6 each. Next up is the Burberry London Polo. Very good seller. Very, very, very good seller. Right there. I think we got that for, I want to say $6 or $8. Sold it for $35. Very quick sell there. Next up is the Peter Millar. And I mentioned before, I'm not really going to buy any more Peter Millar polos unless I get them for like super cheap, like $3 or $2 if they're on sale or at the bins. This one, I believe I spent like $5 on it, 5 or 4. Sold it for $20 basically. So that was an okay flip. johnnie-o hanging out. Now this was interesting because I mentioned this in one of the haul videos when I got this one. The original price tag was $6, but for whatever reason, whoever put the price tag on it, instead of putting it on the collar or on the front or on the sleeve like usual, for whatever reason, it was like inside in the chest area. And when I took it to the cashier, she scanned the first 2 things, which were on sale for like $1. And when she tried to scan this one, she couldn't find the tag. If she would have just kept looking further in, she would have seen it. But I guess she just wasn't having it, so she just did me the favor actually by just scanning one of the other shirts, which was on sale. So I got this for $1.40 when I should have paid $6 for it. So that was a very fun flip. $25 for a shirt that I paid $1.50 for. So can't beat that. Next up, these shorts right here, pants. I mean, Levi 560s. These are huge pants. But the thing is, first of all, flipped it for $18.97, paid $2 for it. That was the only reason I got them. This was also one of my very first buys ever, and these were sitting around for about a month now. Yeah, because I've been doing this for about a month and a half, and yeah, this was like in the first couple of weeks of doing this. So they're sitting around a while, but thankfully, I said $19. I was fine with that. I think I was trying to get 25 for these at first, but I realized that they were taking so long. Dropped it all the way down to 19, and they sold like that. So I'm okay with that profit flip just because I only spent $2 on it. Next up are actually 2 things. 2 Carhartt shirts. They're both long sleeve. These actually sold the same day to the same buyer. I'm pretty sure I spent like $6 or $5 on each of them. Sold one of them for $19.97 and the other one for $21.97. And they're both 2XL, so a nice little flip there to whoever bought them both. Next up, now this was a more recent sale, the Hugo Boss jacket, cashmere jacket. Now this one I had just purchased like a couple days ago on Friday. I bought it for $15, sold it for $60. Now this one sold so fast I wasn't able to make a haul video on it. I was planning to, but by the time I was ready to, it already sold, so I wanted to get it out the door as fast as possible, so I wasn't able to show that one off. But it was a very nice coat. Let's see, it was cashmere wool, Hugo Boss. It was I gotta be honest, I couldn't believe that I was able to find it for $15. That was a steal. I know I mentioned in the beginning of the video with the Hugo Boss shirt, and I said I'm not really going for Hugo Boss unless it's the right thing, and that was the right thing. I almost didn't want to sell it just because it looks so nice. Part of me wanted to keep it because it just looks so nice, but put it for $60. It sold within a day, so happy to get that out. Next up is these Christmas village houses, 5 of them. I spent 20 on all of them. I sold them for 40, so quick flip on that one for doubling my money. Next up, another vintage LL Bean shirt. This is a men's, however. It's a rugby polo shirt. I remember getting that one for $6, sold it for 35. Nice little flip there. Next up is a men's. Now, this was an interesting one. This was more of like an experiment. The brand for Herdy, or I'm assuming that's how you pronounce it. Um, the cheapest shirt, I think my original price, I had that one up for like 35 bucks. And then just out of curiosity, I went to go look what is the cheapest option for that shirt online right now. It was like $21.99. So I thought to myself, I wonder how fast it would sell if I put mine at $21.98, which would technically make it the cheapest version of that shirt available. And when I did, I want to say within like 3 hours it sold for $21.98. So that might be a new strategy that I implement whenever I find. So yeah, so that one I remember $5 on that one, and I got it. Oh, I'm sorry, four. I remember, because this was also a very recent purchase. That one also I did not make a video on because it sold so fast. I didn't get a chance to make it. So $4 selling it for 22, not bad right there. Next up with this Peter Millar vest. I also mentioned that too. I'm not buying any more Peter Millar unless it's the right thing for the right price. And a fine Italian merino wool vest, zip vest, is the right thing. And I sold it for 23 bucks. I remember spending $5 on that one at a Goodwill. Nice flip there. Next up is a Michael Kors. Now this, just like the Hugo Boss, all right, just like the Hugo Boss, I got this in the very, very beginning of reselling. In fact, that might have been like one of my first 5 purchases ever by starting this resale business. Way before I was educated in this stuff, way before I did any research, I just looked at something and said that must be worth something. Worst thing you can do. Worst thing you can do if you're ever going to do reselling in any category. Do your research first before you try to do something like this. So yeah, I sold it for 13. I think I spent like $6 or $7 on that. I dropped the price way down just to get it out, just to get my money back. I think I made like, oh my gosh, I want to say I probably made like, after the fees, maybe like $5, maybe. So yeah, not a big profit for it, but just like a lesson learned. When that sold, I was so happy, like finally, lesson learned there. Don't buy something without doing your research. Next up is another 511 item, but this time it's the pants. 511. I believe these were also brand new with tags, and I think we got these for like $6 or $7 at a Goodwill. Sold them for 30 bucks. Got it in and out. So we sold a brand new with tags shirt, and then we sold a brand new pair with a brand new with tags pants. I'm curious though if that was to the same buyer. I'm very curious if the same person bought that. Moving up is the Duluth trading shirt. Also, by the way, the pants and this Duluth trading shirt I actually sold yesterday. Actually, this Duluth, this is one of the ones that made me smile because unlike the Michael Kors, this is one of the first purchases I ever made when I first started actually researching things. When I first started researching things, that's when I was like, oh, okay. Now I know what to look for. So that made me smile when it sold. I was like, so that was like a little reminder to myself once again, like crazy where the stuff I used to do versus now. Next up is the Vineyard Vines Murray shirt, blue stripe. I have a decent amount of Vineyard Vines sitting around, so I'm a little surprised that it's not selling as fast. But maybe I should start dropping the price, which is what I did here. I think I had this one for like 28, and then like 2 days ago it dropped down to 23, and it sold once again like that. So maybe I should just drop the price down on some of my Vineyard Vines. And this sold today, actually. Not these next couple of things sold today, just before I made this video. I just got back from the post office, which is the Jingle Bell Rock Santa. I did make a video on that one. I spent $10 on that at a Goodwill. Sold it for 40. Glad to have that out. Next up, lastly, the most recent sale, which sold like 20 minutes after that Santa got sold, was a North Face black puffer vest. Now I bought that the exact same day I bought that Hugo Boss coat on Friday. It just passed. I spent, like I said, 15 on the coat, and I spent $10 on this vest. I sold them both for 60. That should tell you the value of a Hugo Boss coat and a vest. A huge coat and a smaller little puffer vest. Yeah, they both sold for 60. If anything, maybe I should have sold the Hugo Boss for a little bit more, considering how fast it sold, because it was a very nice coat, like I said. But anyways, guys, that's pretty much it. I did not want the video to be too long, which I think that's probably a little too late now. But anyways, I do have I got so much stuff to show off in haul. I just haven't gotten around to doing videos on it yet. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Let me know what you guys think. Did I price my stuff too high or too low that you saw? The one thing that's got me curious, I'm still thinking of today, was a Hugo Boss. Maybe I should have priced it a little bit higher. Maybe it probably still would have sold, considering how fast it sold. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you guys for the next video.